Good morning and welcome to December the 10th. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. Right now, 69 as you're waking up. There is fog in the area as we wait for a high of about 72, 73, somewhere along in there. Now, it's going to be another wet day, at least through about 2 p.m. 80% chance of that wet stuff coming down. Be careful, leave home a little bit earlier. We had a lot of wrecks yesterday. We'll go over a lot of them coming up at 7 o'clock this morning, as well as a recap of what happened yesterday. Mark, good morning. Good to see you there. Miss Joyce joining us. Vivian, I see Dot is up as well. It is a beautiful day, is it not? Are you in the Christmas spirit just yet? Oh, we are, boy, what is it, 15 days till Christmas now. It is so close. It is so close. One of the fastest years that I can remember in my lifetime. Charlotte, good morning. Getting rain in Philadelphia. Good morning, Mark. We'll be right back as we head now to Collinsville. Let's get that good word for the day.
Man, it's a great time of year. It's getting cold out, which means that the holidays are already upon us. But it also means that outdoor activities are becoming more enjoyable. I love to camp, and one of the best things about camping is building the fire. Building a fire takes patience and determination. Now, in my youth, I'd often forgo patience and douse my wood in lighter fluid, and bada bing, bada boom, you've got yourself a fire. But now I've found enjoyment using a ferro rod, where you strike the rod to produce hot sparks that will light your leaves or straw, and once it catches and gets going, you can build a fire fairly easily. Now, of course, if you stopped adding wood to the fire, it would die out and go out on me. The writer of Proverbs has something to say about fire. Listen to what he writes in Proverbs 26, 20 and 21. Fire goes out without wood, and quarrels disappear when gossip stops. A quarrelsome person starts fights as easily as hot embers light charcoal or fire lights wood. Man, when gossip stops, it kills fights and quarrels just as quickly as a fire dies without wood. The author is saying that gossip is the fuel that feeds quarrels and strife. A gossip is indeed a quarrelsome person that starts a fight easily, just as an ember will light charcoal or a fire will light a piece of wood. Do you enjoy gossip? I'd recommend you ditch it, because you may be causing more quarrels than you realize. And the gossip you entertain can spread further and blaze higher than you may have wanted to. Instead, do what the Apostle Paul says and think and speak about the things that are true and honorable, just and pure, lovely and commendable. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. John joining us from Smith County. Good morning to you. Wayne? Oh, him and Dolores up and at 'em there in the Collinsville area. As you know, I've said many times, I never back down from a statement that I make of I no longer watch NFL. They seem to have a line that they crossed in my mind that I can't get past. My love for America is big. You've got to support that. But I also believe in giving data boys where they need to be done. Now, I don't know this young man or much about him, but I have heard of the team of Panthers, a guy named Bryce Young. Anybody know him? He's a receiver. He's receiving praise this morning. A player got injured, and he prayed for him on the field. You don't see that very often, do you? So I thought that was well worth mentioning this morning. NFL player Bryce Young plays for the Panthers there. So he prayed for an eagle that got hurt. That's important to mention. Those praise gods, we need them everywhere we go. It's good to see them in the NFL once again. As you well know by now, an arrest has been made from yesterday. The CEO from that healthcare murder. They've got someone arrested, and as you look at this guy was very rich, Ivy League, as he went off the deep end, as people are describing it. Luigi, I believe, is his first name. United Healthcare. Awful in the streets there of how that happened. And they have worked round the clock tracking this guy down. Let me see if I can pronounce that name correctly. And it is a little difficult for me. Luigi Mangoni, possibly, is the man that's been arrested. Grandparents started their own business here, became mega rich, went to Ivy Leagues, and somewhere went off the deep end, friends are saying. What made him do this, we don't know. Had a manifesto in his backpack as police found. We'll learn more about this in the upcoming days as mugshots has been released on this after he was arrested. As a matter of fact, as we'll go to Daily Mail, here is the first picture that was seen of this after the arrest. Again, I don't know what drove someone to do this. Awful, awful, but we are glad that he's been apprehended. We cannot have this on the streets of America. It happened. He's behind bars now. Daniel Penny, one of the biggest news stories of yesterday, has been cleared. He has been found innocent on all charges. If you'll remember, if you're going, Daniel Penny, who is that? He is the former Marine that was on the subway where people were being harassed by a man, and he got into an argument with him and held him down, and the man died from those injuries. He has been cleared of all charges of murder. In the background, you'll hear that. That's rain approaching as those little dings. The View, I don't watch it. Maybe you do. I do realize that there are people that like different varieties of news, and, well, The View is very different. They have promised to wear a mega hat, all of them, should Trump get Hamas to release all of the hostages. We'll see how that plays out. I would think that could be done. We'll see if they carry through with their promise if he does that. UCLA student. This is always concerning, and I normally stay away from subjects of this matter because it's so confusing, and as you get into this stuff, it just spreads by the time you talk about it. But there is a lawsuit that is forming here. A UCLA student is suing doctors because the surgery is irreversible, is where I'm going with this. 12-year-old female at the point in time of her childhood thought she wanted to be a male. It was fast-tracked surgery. It's irreversible what they have done. She has changed their mind about that and is now suing the doctors. 12 years old, I don't think anyone really knows. Do you? Nothing should be fast-tracked at an age like that. That's my opinion. You may disagree with that. We see that Jim Jones comes to mind when I see this headline here. Y'all remember him. He was the pastor, so-called pastor, that led many to follow him to death. But this is a little bit different twist as we see religious cults or things of that nature. Phoenix, Arizona, polygamous, I cannot say that word, leader. We'll leave it at that. Had 20 wives, some as young as 9. He's been sentenced to 50 years in prison at least for those acts. 9 years old. Very disturbing, isn't it? He should pay the price that no other should do it or think of doing it. You have to set an example that will most likely go beyond his years of his age that he is now. 50 years, 20 wives, as young as 9. That's awful. That's just awful. Taylor Swift's tour has ended. It grossed over $2 billion. That's big. It's finally come to an end. She gave a big bonus to people that work for her. I'm glad she done that. Swatting. Are y'all familiar with what that is? It's becoming a popular thing among people, with people that disagree with politicians or political leaders, however you want to word that. Marjorie Taylor Greene is the latest of this. They had called in that an attack was on her house. We'll word it that way. Police responded with the squad. While they were en route, one of the police officers wrecked, and the person they had the accident with died of their injuries. He was injured pretty severely. It's called swatting when they call in a fake call to 911 to say that something's happening at home. It's happening more and more. It's happened to Marjorie 9 times so far. This time it resulted in the death of an innocent person, of someone trying to get to that home that was off duty to get there to go to work. What a shame. But this happened more than you think. We see that a Texas police officer has lost his life in a traffic stop. He'd only been there 4 months. As he walked up to the window, he was shot and killed. Our prayers for his family as they enter this holiday season that this would happen. Terrell, Texas is where that went on. As I was looking at the comments there, 20 wives, that is ridiculous. Where they have those shows, The guy that's got 4 or 5 wives, and I think they've all left him. I thought that was illegal. We do see that as we go now to, where did this happen? At Philadelphia, PA, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. A home was broken into. The son has been killed and the mom severely wounded as an intruder shot the son and wounded the mother. Philadelphia, PA, right at Christmas. We send our thoughts to those families as well as we look abroad across the U.S. We'll see if this works out. Governor of Arkansas. Oh, you know her. She served a lot of time there in Trump's office there. She's doing a pilot program to where cell phones will not be able to be used in a school. They're making all students, and it's several schools involved, to where they can't use their phone at all during the course of a day. Some parents are okay with that, while others go, I might need to get in touch with my child during the day. We'll see how that pilot works out. Sarah Huckabee Sanders leading that charge. We'll see how that turns out. And again, there's pros and cons on both sides of that. You do, if there was an emergency, want it to where your child could call you. But also, as they put it, there's a distraction to where they're not doing the schoolwork like they should. And I don't have the answers, but that's a pilot that has started there. Where did this happen at? This is just Houston, Texas is where we go next. An 80-year-old man was killed over a parking place. An argument over a parking spot. That's awful, is it not? We see this across America, senseless murders every day. This is two ways to look at this next story as we go to New Jersey. The governor has signed a law blocking a book ban, which we don't need to block books, is the first thing. I remember watching the Waltons. Y'all remember that, to where they got together and decided that there was a book that was bad and they were going to burn them. And John Boy stepped in and said, "You don't know what you're doing. That is the Bible. It's just in a different language." But as I said, there's a twofold to this. The New Jersey governor has blocked the book ban so that they can allow, I'm trying to think of the words for it, books that teach children, as we talked about a moment ago, to where they can be something that they're not. I'm trying to politically put this correct. Of changing who they are. Of changing who they are. Of what God made them. And it's a controversy there of right and wrong. We don't have that moral compass that used to float through the US of A, of family, and it's gone. We all know that. But that is one of the lead stories there from New Jersey this morning. I didn't realize this. Greyhound. There's only 2 places in the U.S. that greyhounds are raced anymore. It's becoming a thing of the past.
Oh, that Greyhound.
Yeah, Greyhound, the dogs.
Oh, I thought
not the bus. Greyhound. New Zealand plans to outlaw it. They're going to be doing away with all dog tracks. We don't have that in Utah anymore, do we?
I was trying to think. I'm not sure
I
if
just,
we do or not.
I never hear of it anymore, but I remember as a kid hearing about the tracks that used to be in Utah, Alabama. I've never been there, but it may or may not be there anymore. Cracker Barrel under heat in Maryland. This is one of those situations. Somebody had to have not understood what was going on. A school group with disabilities called ahead of time and said, "We're coming to have lunch there. There's 9 of us with the teachers and everybody. I think there's a total of 18. Once on scene, they were not allowed to dine because they told them they could not provide service to them for their disabilities. They were turned away after management was called higher up. Turns out they're saying that they didn't have enough servers to help out. In any way, they are apologizing for what went on. Other restaurants in the Maryland area are trying to make up for that and invite the kids to come dine with them. Again, it was a Cracker Barrel in Maryland that happened at. I have no words for it. I can't defend somebody that does that. We'll leave it at that and go to our next story there. It's always good, and it's always DNA that always solves a crime. 41 years over, a 70-year-old man has been arrested for his connection of a 1983 murder in Southern California. And you guessed it, DNA played a big part in that arrest. As we look at this has been a lot of talk. The presidential pardon, to where Hunter Biden has been basically forgiven for anything that he may be charged with. And the experts are saying that, well, this has already been tested before, as we go back and we look at what Gerald Ford did for Nixon. They said it's already been done. There's nothing that can be done about it for crimes that you may or may not have committed. Do you agree with it? We'll see. There could be more of these coming as Biden gets ready to exit the office. I do think we're going to see more of this, possibly family members and those that Trump has probably already said that have broken the law and that he's going to have arrested for crimes that they may or may not have done against the U.S. of A. We'll see that. More up and coming as we'll get into the weather forecast this morning. How is it? It's foggy. We'll tell you all the details next here at the Scotty Ray Report.
This is going to be our biggest year-end clearance event ever here at Doc's Toyota in Philadelphia. Inventory is up and rates are finally down. We promise to save you thousands on any of our new inventory. From Siennas to Sequoias, Camrys to Corollas, Tundras, Tacomas, no matter the model, we will not be undersold. We want your business. With interest rates as low as 1.99%, top dollar value for your trade-in, and thousands off all of our inventory, Doc's Toyota is your clear choice for your next Toyota purchase. So come see us here at Doc's Toyota in Philadelphia at docstoyota.com or on Facebook. And remember, there's no deal like a Doc's deal.
The most wonderful time of the year is just around the corner, and Al's Garden and Gift is ready for a magical Christmas season. From sparkling Christopher Radko ornaments to custom wreaths by Wanda, we've got your holiday decor covered. Looking for the perfect gift? Try our custom baskets packed with treats like Mississippi cheese straws and old-fashioned peppermint sticks. And be sure to add vibrant colors to your outdoors with pansies and snapdragons. Charm and beauty await your home this wonderful season. Merry Christmas from Al's Garden and Gift.
And welcome back. Glad everybody joins us. And we are getting word that Tori says Green Track is closed. Now I know. I heard it for years. I just have not had that brought up. Karina told me not to sugarcoat things, say what it is. Just trying to find that right wording for it. I'm not sure that I did just a moment ago, but thank you. As we begin this day, let's get into that forecast now.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Here we go. Back in 2021, not all that long ago, 3 years, 81 degrees it was. Back in 95, we had a low of 16 on this date. 95, woof. Starting to be eons ago, isn't it? As we look at today's forecast, 75 is the best we'll see on that thermometer. More rain to the south and the east of Meridian. We'll see a few there as we get into Noxubee County as well. And northern Kemper County should see some pretty good thunder boomers today. The rest of the area should see rain, but not as bad as those areas. As we go east into Bama, more rain there. We'll look at the potential for severe weather in Alabama today. There is some in Alabama. As we look at this, as we come about, warmer weather out to our west, and we'll see from where we were last week in the 40s to where we're going to see highs and temperatures right at the 60, 70 degree mark this week. Here's our 7-day outlook as we see this. 72 today during this rain, 80% chance. Now, rain will diminish after 2 o'clock this afternoon. We'll see 53 for a high tomorrow, 53 on Thursday. As the weekend arrives, we climb back in those 60s as we see that warmer weather arrive from Texas. 0% chance of rain through Friday, and then we jump to a 50% on Saturday. Not bad, as we have a 20% on Sunday there, but nighttime lows basically in the 40s over the weekend. As we move forward all the way to Christmas Eve, can you believe that? Christmas Eve, it looks like Santa is going to be traveling in 40-degree weather as he makes his way across the Southland. Partly cloudy. He's got just a smidgen chance of rain there on Christmas Eve. Well, that's not bad. As we look at our fishing forecast for today, our major time begins at 7:15 this morning and should be good through about 9 o'clock. So if you're going out fishing, should be good. Here's the bad news. South-southwest wind 5 to 10 becoming northwest with gusts of 20 miles an hour and rain. Are you man enough for that? Might not feel too good on a boat, especially if there's lightning.
We're getting reports.
Reports?
124 eastbound.
Okay.
It's going to be on 20.
Pull that microphone around where everybody can hear you. They can't hear you. We're getting a break-in report from Odie over here.
Yeah, mile marker 124, I-20 eastbound. That's going to be coming into Lauderdale County from Newton area, Jackson. That way we're looking at reports of accident with injuries.
That's in Newton County?
No, that's in Lauderdale County.
Lauderdale County,
That's coming in
120.
from Newton County
Okay,
way.
I
That's
got you.
just coming into Lauderdale County. If you're used to traveling down the interstate coming eastbound, right when you come into Lauderdale County, there's a little hill that you top over.
Right.
And once you top over it, it gets a little slick there, and there's a river that you
Yes.
cross over, and we have multiple accidents in that area. And that's where that's going to be. Eastbound 124. Don't know if the road's blocked. We don't know how many vehicles are involved yet. But we do know that there is accident with injuries. So if you're around that area, please be careful.
Yeah, slow down. That is that's not good news to get this morning. But and again, with this rain, we do expect to hear more about this morning. You be careful. Leave home early as you go. Again, accident mile marker 124 eastbound coming into the Meridian area. As we switch gears and we go deer hunting, what is happening with our deer hunting today? Major time began at 6:30 and will be good till about 8:30 this morning. We'll have another time. It'll be after dark that it'll be good. We have average day of hunting today is what we're getting there. Sunrise at 6:45. We've just about passed that. We have sunset will hit at 4:49 this afternoon as we see that. And again, the wind's not for the best of deer hunters. It's going to be south-southwest 5 to 10, becoming northwest in the afternoon. Wind gust is 20 miles an hour. Now let's go take a look at radar of what we've got going on this morning with all of this weather and wrecks and things in our area. Here's what we've got as we pull up Honda Meridian radar. And this is going to be right there as you're coming out of Newton County, all of this rain. Look at this. We've got an accident right around in here, 124, as we glance at this. Be careful, and be more careful. Anywhere from the airport all the way back to Newton is going to be hazardous travel if you're coming east or westbound as we look at this morning. That is serious rain right here as you're crossing in to Lauderdale County. Be cautious, be careful, drive slower. Now, we've got light rain all the way through the West Lauderdale area. Picking up rain as we see this on 495 and 493 just inside that Kemper County line south of DeKalb. And it will stretch eastward over to Kemper County, Highway 45, all of this area, Edendale, these areas getting flooded right now. As we look at Neshoba County, we see that they're just above Union, Highway 15 showers as well. Even Highway 19 has got some showers coming up on it right there as we move forward. And look at all this rain out here west on Highway 16 past the resort. A lot of rain there. And if you follow Highway 19 coming in, got a lot of showers there as well. Walnut Grove, Carthage, Scott County, Forest, these areas have got rain this morning. To the south, we're not seeing as much in Clark County, but have no fear, rain will come. It is on its way as we look to Taylorsville, Mize, all these areas. Montrose getting rain this morning. This is what we've got on radar. And there could be some areas of fog that we're not picking up. Stark Vegas, you can hardly see the bulldog. Yeah, he's out there. We got a little bit of fog there in Grenada as well as over around Vicksburg there at the Mississippi River as well. Selma, Montgomery, those areas also got some fog as well this morning. The end of the day, what we say is be careful. Be careful. Got a lot of people saying they're hearing thunder in the background this morning. I'm sure you are. Now, again, reminder of the accident we have eastbound mile marker 124 I-20 as you're coming into Meridian from the Newton County area. We're not sure how many vehicles are involved at this point, but we do know that there are.
Right now, just got an update on it. We've got one vehicle in the woods.
In the woods?
So the road's not blocked, but there's fixing to be a lot of emergency vehicles on that stretch of the highway.
So we would guess to think maybe a hydroplane is what it's called this.
Most likely right through there. Would not surprise me. That has been a case in the past. It is a blind hill.
Yes.
So you come over that hill, see a bunch of emergency vehicles on the side of the road. Just be careful when you're coming through that area.
So we've got one. And I'd like to be able to tell you that that's going to be all we have, but it's not. As rain happens, accidents happen there. Stevie joining us all the way from Nash Vegas, Tennessee this morning. Glad to have you on the show. Now, we're going to take a quick break, make some coffee, because, well, we can't function without it. We'll be right back at 7 o'clock. Ooh, lots going on in here. Collinsville First Baptist is here to join us. Brother Ben is in the house. They got something big coming up at the church we're going to find out about. Stick around. You'll enjoy it. And plus, all the highlights and things that went on yesterday in our community.